special.
I can safely say this will be the biggest trade before the trade deadline.
This move is good. It won't be the last one.
And speaking of trades, the trade deadline's been
You guys don't know what Ryan calls himself.
Schefter has breaking news.
Obviously, the Saints talking to a whole host of teams.
You don't make this move unless you think that you can make a deep playoff run.
They'll trade away a good player, though. They ain't
The window is open to
Quarterback
compete.
in the NFL this year so far. Right now, four.
Believe it or not, we are just 5 days away to the trade deadline. Can't wait to see which teams decide to make some moves, what happens with all of it. We got Adam and Peter here. Let's start with Adam. What are some names you've heard in trade rumors over the past 24 hours or so?
Door, some of the receivers when it comes to their health.
Well, I think there's some focus on wide receivers here leading up to the trade deadline. The New Orleans Saints have Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, and the veteran Brandon Cooks. They're working to try to re-sign Chris Olave, which would seem to indicate that they perhaps would be willing to listen on the other players like Rashid Shaheed and Brandon Cooks. Those are not the only receivers that are drawing interest across the league. Jacoby Myers could generate some interest. He's asked to be traded. The Raiders are hesitant to move him unless they got an offer that they felt was fair and substantial, and so far that has not happened nor materialized. And of course, there are questions about other players out there right now at the pass rush position, waiting to see whether any of them become free. But we've seen so far in the month of October 8 trades. I would say that the over-under from now till Tuesday might be 5 more, bringing us to 13 by Tuesday. We'll see whether that comes under, whether it comes over, but I would think at least 5 more between now and Tuesday.
All right, some key info there, people. Peter, there's one division you're keeping a close eye on in the coming days. Which one is it?
I think the AFC East is fascinating. I think there's been a lot of dialogue over the Buffalo Bills' need to go and find themselves an outside receiver, a deep threat. The problem is the Buffalo Bills are in salary cap hell. They don't have the wiggle room that a lot of teams do. In fact, they're the worst in the league when it comes to current cap space. So you have to be rational here. And Bills fans might not want to hear this, but last year when they got Amari Cooper, there was some wiggle room to do so. This year, not so much. Meanwhile, the Patriots, everything's turning up Patriots right now. Obviously, they're in the driver's seat in the division with that tiebreaker over the Bills. They have the most salary cap space in the entire league. Are they going to be buyers? Now, we know they traded away Keon White. We know they traded away Kyle Duggar. But was that to clear even more cap space for one more move? And just a real quick point on the other two teams. Dolphins lose tonight. They could be sellers with guys like Bradley Chubb, Jermaine Phillips, and of course, Matthew Judon on the roster. And then the Jets, as uplifting as that victory was last week, they're not going anywhere. They have a lot of players in the final year of their contract. Could they be sellers before the deadline as well?
He's the MVP. I understand what Drake May is
And
doing.
Peter, you bring up the Dolphins. I think the 2 edge rushers have drawn some attention across the league. Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb. I think teams believe that at least one of those pass rushers will be shipped out of Miami by the time the trade deadline hits Tuesday, 4 o'clock. Tonight, the Dolphins play, so this could be the last game.
You're mentioning a lot of stats for these guys. Dak is the
Well,
top
we
5
lost it there for
quarterback
just a second, but the
basically
point still
any way
came
you
across,
slice
Adam. It was
season.
great
I know
stuff.
we're
Really
coming off
interesting.
of
And those
bad
2
games
players,
and
Chubb
but
and
he has been
Phillips,
absolutely excellent.
they could
But it's
actually
very
make a
close
lot of
right
teams
there.
a lot
The one
better,
name I'll throw
especially
out, 'cause he
contenders.
hasn't been
Thanks to you
mentioned,
guys.
Jordan
All right,
Love.
let's go to the Kansas City
Right
Chiefs. They're in a really
outside
good
this top
spot.
five
Quite the
is going to be in the
remarkable
top 5
situation
color
to
right
see
now.
how this Chiefs offense
I gotta
has
put Jack
changed
on this
since
list,
Rasheed Rice
and
came
I
back.
don't know if I can go
Small
Drake
sample
May
size,
number
of course,
2.
but
Might
the
be the
Chiefs
best
are being
story in
blitzed
the league,
half
and he's
as
had a couple of
often
good
with
games
Rice,
here. I'm not
but
sure I
scoring
could put Drake
touchdowns
May
twice as
above
often.
these 3 guys
Mahomes
for
has
what they've done
also
over the
just
course
been
of the season.
better, nearly a
The
yard and a
scary part about
half
Drake
more
May,
per
I feel
pass
like
attempt
he's
with
just
Rice in the
getting
lineup.
started.
Dan and
He's
Jay back
number
at the
2
touch
now,
screen. Guys,
and
we
he
knew
just
the
scratching
offense
the
would be
surface
better
and Josh
with Rice
McDaniels
back,
off
but why this
This
much
is
better?
obtainable.
So far this season, when Patrick Mahomes throws the ball to Rasheed Rice or Travis Kelce,
Right now, the 5 guys who are playing quarterback, the best in the NFL right now. Ruzel. You guys don't know that Ryan calls himself Ruzel. We've adopted him at Ruzel. Stephen A. in the all black. I'm going to start with number 5. I'm not giving you a guess. Okay. Number 5, Baker Mayfield. And everyone probably forgot a couple weeks ago as hot as anybody. Baker Mayfield could be the most clutch quarterback in the NFL this year so far. Right now. 4 fourth-quarter game-winning comeback drives in the midst of the revolving door of offensive linemen and the revolving door of his wide receivers. Baker Mayfield playing exceptional. Number 4, Matthew Stafford. Once again, a little bit of a revolving door of some of the receivers when it comes to their health. Matthew Stafford leads the NFL in explosive pass plays. He's averaging about a pass play of explosive element, 1 a quarter. That's outrageous when it comes to reality of terms in the NFL. He's playing absolutely exceptional. It's one of the reasons why the Rams are, no question, undebatable Super Bowl contenders. Number 3, little bit of a toss-up here. Daniel Jones. You know what quarterback's playing the best under pressure right now in the NFL? Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. That's been his kryptonite. His QBR right now under pressure 87. For context, that would be the highest the quarterback has had as a QBR rating under pressure since the year of 2000. That's how insane Daniel Jones has been dealing with pressure and playing at a high level. Number 2, the guy that would be the leader of the MVP candidate for me right now, Drake May. Wow. Drake May right now leads the NFL in accuracy when it comes to completion percentage at 75. Guy that was a person named Drew Brees. He's also throwing the ball downfield as well, if not better than any quarterback in the NFL. And the reason why he's at 2 is I would claim that he's doing the best with the least when it comes all-around talent around him. Again, that's why he would be my number 1 quarterback or number 2 quarterback, number 1 MVP, number 1 Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, number 1 Pat right now. He leads the NFL in total yards at almost 2,300. He leads the NFL in first downs at 121. He leads the NFL in touchdowns at 21. The way that Patrick is playing right now is 2021-2022 MVP of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I mean this is actually to give it to Dan. This isn't a list. I mean, obviously you put Dak into the conversation. You can also bring Jalen Hurts into the conversation. Especially with the last 2 weeks of football, I think it's fair that Baker Mayfield, who I felt 2 weeks ago, I would have had at the head top of the MVP candidacy, falls to 5, but still in there. This is a great list, and the thing I love about your list the most is you didn't use bias against who Patrick Mahomes was in the past, right? You said, okay, I'm talking about how he's playing right now. To me, he's the MVP. I understand what Drake May is doing. Patrick Mahomes is playing the best ball he's played in 3 years. Mina, it's not a bad list. I came in ready to tear it apart, but I honestly think, Dan, I agree with your top 3. I agree with the order that you have them in. Personally, I would put Dak Prescott at 5 over Mayfield. You've been mentioning a lot of stats for these guys. Dak is a top 5 quarterback basically any way you slice it this season. And I know we are coming off of a bad game of his, but he has been absolutely excellent. But it's very close right there. The other name I'll throw out cause he hasn't been mentioned, Jordan Love. Yep. He was right outside this top 5 and he is going to be in the top 5. I'm calling it right now. Peter, I got to put Dak on this list and I don't know if I can go Drake May number 2. He might be the best story in the league and he's had a couple of good games here. I'm not sure I could put Drake May above these 3 guys for what they've done over the course of the season. The scary part about Drake May, I feel like is just getting started. And if he's number 2 now and is just scratching the surface in Joshua's offense, this is obtainable. First of all, it's not an A-list. Okay, let's get that out of the way first. Okay, Dak Prescott needs to be on this list. Okay, Dak Prescott needs to be on this list. That's number 1. So, who comes off? Stephen A. If I would have to say Baker Mayfield, even though he was where he was. Even though he was where he was, we also saw him struggle as of late. We got that part. We know Baker May's in the conversation. Okay, we know that whether it's Jordan Love, it's a Baker Mayfield. These cats right there, right outside. But Dax's got to be in there. And I would put Daniel Jones ahead of Drake May because the way that you talk about what he was once doing compared to what he's done now, that big thing that you pointed out in terms of him number 1 under pressure. The fact is when that's your Achilles heel and it has now become your strength, it's crazy. That is a big deal. That's why I would have to put him at number 2. This is not an A-list. It's a nice effort. Also too though, so here would be my question especially for Mina and Dan, right? If Lamar comes back, Dina is playing Lamar Jackson. Somebody got football. Where does he have to be on this list by the end of the season for the Baltimore Ravens to be in the play? I say top 2. I say top 2 because listen, the QB rating was 130 when he went down. You understand? I mean, when they were struggling, he was still playing like a damn MVP. So, again, for them to have any chance, one would smize, he's just going to have to be on another level. I think top 2, top 3 is probably a fair. No mention of Josh Allen anywhere in this conversation. I personally do not think Josh has had a very good season. I think he struggled over the past couple weeks. He plays very frustrated right now, and he's the opposite of Daniel right now. Josh is not dealing with pressure. It's something that has made him so special, and that's been a flaw this year. So, in other words, guys, it's not an A-list. And the one thing I want to point out about RC, Cause RC, I got to call him out on this. He said up there, he talked about, wait a minute. Now, again, he's allowed to talk about right now, right? That would make it fluid. Yes. He didn't say, now, had you set no set work for you, set it to set stone set, try again. All security. Hey. There we go. Is that a nice stroll? I give it a B, beautiful. I give it offensive jump the Chiefs have taken. Scoring is up nearly 4 points a game. Yardage is up 70 yards a game. Last 2 weeks, only the Bengals are averaging more yards per game than Kansas City. So, we are going to show you what it looks like, and then we are going to tell you what we think. Dan, you've got tape. This Kansas City, when I watch them, I think to myself, no one is going to stop them. Why are they so good now? When they take Travis Kelce and put Rashid Rice and him next to each other, they're almost unstoppable. Unstoppable and impossible to defend because 1, the attention that they draw for others. That's Rice